All right, let's go on to topic 2. $2,000 quarter scale statues. Are companies out of touch, or is this just the beginning?
$2,200.
Yeah, $2,200. Yes. Didn't have as nice of a ring to it, I guess, in the title. But so I did a video recently for this was considering Prime 1 and Shugo. I can't remember now. But there's another company that's doing a Snape figure for them, and it's a quarter scale statue. It is a like an artisan type of statue, and so I did the video. And I still stand by what I said, that it's just, I feel like it is, out of touch, and it kind of alienates a lot of the customer base whenever this is the new price point. What did you guys think whenever you first saw the price point for that? Like, were you as shocked as I was?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, 1,000%. Yes.
It's ridiculous. There's nothing, I mean, you can't, I understand that they're saying that each one is painted by a master artist, right, in-house. And I know there's a lot of cost associated with that. But if that was a factory painted piece, would it reduce it down to $800 like it looks like? You know what I mean? Like, what is it really more than double? Because to me, it doesn't look like anything more than an $800 quarter scale piece.
Well, yeah, if you get custom statues painted, you're going to, pay a few thousand compared to what they, paint in factories in China where, they barely, pay those people. So, I mean, if they are going to do like pro painting for each statue, then maybe, I guess I could see the value there, but I don't know. Does it really need it? I mean, factories do a pretty good job.
Yeah. And it's just 150 of them, right?
150 is the ES on it. And, yes, it is going to be hand painted, but it's literally just a face and hands.
Yeah,
the rest of it is all cut and sew.
Yeah.
So I did my video, and I talked to the creative director quite frequently, and he messaged me and he said, he obviously disagreed with my comment. And he said, next time, just, you could have just reached out and I could have explained it to you. It's like, I understand. I've been in this game long enough. I know how a lot of this works. And I get that there is, a good quality to, knowing that a master painter painted it. But I asked him, I said, okay, so I saw the Alien Ripley at San Diego Comic-Con last year. I thought she looked great. There was that Dune piece there last year. I thought that looked great. And I basically said, I'm like, because he was talking about how much better this paint is. And I said, so are you saying that your other products are not great? Because I think they are. Like, I think that those are really great. Those price points are really pretty good for the other quarter scales that you're doing by other, factory painters that are doing a really good job and usually are very, very close to the prototype. Not always, but a majority of the time. And he was pretty silent about that.
Oh.
And I keep telling him that, like, I want all of these companies to succeed. I want everybody to continue to put out great products because it benefits them, and it also benefits the collectors that has choice. Obviously, a lot of collectors are not going to spend $2,200 on a quarter scale Snape. I love Snape. He's my favorite character in Harry Potter. I love Alan Rickman. I love the Harry Potter series. Would I spend that much money on him? No.
See, what bothers me too is that, like, the question is this alienation? And I do believe that it is, because this is something that I would buy normally. Like, yes. I have a Harry Potter collection. Snape is on my list of characters that I normally would get. I purchase things in quarter scale. Tick, tick, tick. This ticks all the boxes of something I would normally collect. But I do not want to buy a $2,200 piece, because it takes it one out of my price range, because that means I can't get so many other figures that I would want to get, or pieces that I would want to get. And two, personally, hearing that it comes from a master painter doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't. Like, the 150 edition size, great, that sounds cool. I like low edition sizes. I like knowing that I have something that not a lot of other people have. That's great. But it definitely personally alienates me because this is a piece that I normally would get. And it was something I was watching those videos. I was very intrigued by it until I saw the price point and was like, what in the actual hell? Like, like all of these things to me don't equal that. And that made me really sad. I was very sad.
I think they could have done what Queen Studios did with the quarter scale Ledger Joker and do the artisan edition of 150 and then make 1,000 of
Right.
non-artisan that they sent to a factory.
100%.
There you go.
That would have been such an easy thing. And it's like, there's already, and the reason why, I reached out to him and I talked to him about it is because seeing the trend over the last year, how many collectors are dropping out because of the cost increase. And I know that there's a lot involved that we don't always see. Obviously, when you were at Sideshow, I'm sure you saw a lot of the stuff that we don't get to see, and the price and the cost that's associated, and all the people behind the scenes that are involved that we never ever see, production wise, and just everything. So I know that there's a tremendous amount of cost, and sometimes with the licensing, there's a lot of cost there. Obviously, I've had a lot of conversations with the director as well about just how limited in the amount of people there are that are actually painting these things, and how talented they are. I mean, they are unbelievable that they can make these all look the same and turn out as well as they do. And so I get all that. I've just completely lost my train of thought now. Sorry. I went off on my rail there. But I worry so much about the collector that they're already dropping like flies. And so are they just now going to try to target this ultra exclusive type of collector? We see that with Disney. Disney has flat out said, like, we are overcrowded. We have too many people coming to the parks. So we're going to make it harder for lower income folks to come to Disney. We're going to target those people that will spend $1 million, at the parks and buy everything. And just, that's who they're targeting. And they've been clear about that, which is unfortunate. But we see other companies do that as well. Do you think that's kind of where we're at this point, where companies are going to start targeting that ultra collector with these higher price points, really low ESs? Like I said in that video, if they sell 150 of these that's $330,000 in net profit potentially.
It's low stock.
Well, that would have felt like 2 years ago when they raised the prices. They were trying to price people out. This is just like over the top. Like,
it makes me really sad if that's what's happening. Like, it really does, because there are collectors of all kinds, and I would hate to see the community suffer because of price points like that. Quarter scale should stay in. I mean, I understand everything, the economy right now, everything is raising prices. Like, you're going to the grocery store, you can see that strawberries raise prices. Like, I understand that prices have to go up, but like, don't price out the people who are the Chris's, who are loyal to you and want everyone to succeed. Like, that's not the person you want to price out. You don't want to price out those collectors. Maybe you want to price out, you almost want to, I don't know. I don't think you should price out anyone, really. Like, it just, to me, it's supposed to be for everyone. It's supposed to be a representation of something that you love. And if you want that in your home, that's where it needs to be. And the exclusivity of it, I get, because trust me, I like having the thing that no one else has. I think that's awesome. But also, I like it when you have that thing too, and now we have something to talk about, and like, that's a really cool way to relate to someone on like a very interesting, fun level. So yeah, I see all sides of it, but at the same time, it makes me sad.
Yeah, it does. And it goes back to what Jeff said. An easy solution would have been to say, here's the regular $700, $800, $900 quarter scale, which I think maybe would have been still fair. Like, you look at like Iron Studios, that Voldemort with Nagini, like, that was an incredible statue that Iron Studios put together. Yeah. Beautiful statue. And it was gorgeous. A little pricier. I think it was like $1,200, but it's a big giant statue. Like, it's got the snake and everything. So it's a lot of base going on. You could say that might've been overpriced as well, but it's one of the coolest quarter scales I've ever had in this room. Like, it was just really, really neat. And I just it was too scary for my wife. She loves Harry Potter. She's the biggest Harry Potter fan in our family.
Hey, I get it. I won't do Voldemort either in this
Yeah,
house.
I got it for her. It's like this would be cool if we could put it in our Disney room or whatever, in our Universal or whatever. And
Well, it's
kind of
like
our geek room, and she's like, nope, it's too scary. And so it's like it went. But I just think it was so cool. But like they could have done something like that at that price point, and then still offered, like Jeff said, to say, hey, this is the ultra exclusive one that's hand painted.
Yeah, but
we ran into that with Queen Studios, where they said that it was all going to be hand painted by an artist, and then it turned out that it was the artist team.
Yeah,
and not actually the
that
artist.
could be the same thing here too. It could be the master painter is overseeing a team.
100%. And we'll never know because it's they won't disclose that. I don't.
Well, that's what I say. Is it really worth another $1,000 just for a pro painter to paint a face?
A face.
It's not even. It's like $1,500 extra just for a pro painter. Like that's another XM. That's a whole other statue. That's like
right.
Yeah.
Well,
that
but they
you don't
only
get to have now.
They only need to convince 150 people that it is, and if it's low stock already, they've already convinced over 100. So
yeah. And so, like, what do they care as long as they're selling? I mean, again, at the end of the day, they're a business. They're wanting to cater to that high end collector, and that's great. But I feel like as long as they don't keep going that route, I think we're okay. And like I mentioned to the creative director, is like the comparison about J&D and trying to make a kind of a more exclusive type of a character and an offering, and he did not want to be in that same ballpark. Like, this is not what we're doing.
Sure.
But
I mean, I would love to see more, like I want to see the stuff that's not out of, like, not priced out too. Like, I just want to see things in the $800 range that we're used to right now for the quarter scale stuff, like that. Like, bring some, like, okay, so you had Snape in this, like, have Sirius Black in this normal $800 range. Like, that would be great.
Yeah.
I agree.
His portrait has hand punched hair, or is it sculpted?
I believe it's hand punched hair, but it is not silicone, which I'm thankful for.
Oh, yeah.
But
not glass eyes.
What? Not glass eyes? Yeah, there's
eyes.
no glass eyes. Again, that's the other companies are offering the silicone and the glass eyes. I do not like the silicone. I feel like it's for the most part not great. There have been some exceptions.
They would have to do that like wig thing, like
that's what Queen Studios does. They do that They do the wig effect, and it's very effective. I mean, I've got the Joker sitting right here from Queen Studios, and I love it. It's really well done. It looks hand punched, but it's not. And so I think that they'll do a nice job with this. I mean, I don't think there's any question that it'll.
Oh, I think it's going to be stunning when it comes out. I think it's going to be beautiful. I just don't like that. I'm bitter because I can't have it.
Yeah. But hopefully somebody will, and maybe down the road, Prime One will say, "Hey, we're going to offer, now that we sold 150 of these, maybe now we'll offer this other version with a sculpted hair or something."
That would be lovely.
And that would be great. It goes back to what I worry about with the alienation. It's like you look at somebody like Sideshow, who has continued to have the same type of similar price point.
Yeah.
They've kept that the same. We've talked about it a lot on the show, that we're so proud of that, because they could jack up the prices, and they haven't. Like, it's been pretty consistent, that $600, $700 ish range at this point. Of course, whenever I started, it was $300.
I remember when it was like $300, $400.
Yeah, those were the glory days, right?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Nothing's going to change that. But I do worry about some companies eventually going under because they can't compete, or they make sometimes bad business decisions, and they just don't care about the fans. And I think the fans are what fuel the passion of this hobby. They are what drives this hobby. I said it earlier, I want this hobby and these companies and the fans to be healthy. I want them to be, in a good place and have a lot of variety. But I do worry about sometimes if you take your fans for granted, I think that can come back to bite you pretty hard. This thing with shipping, which we talked about with Eric, I mean, I can't even tell you how many people in that video said, I'm not going to order directly from them now because of what Eric had to deal with. I
mean, don't go by one story of one person myself.
Right. It's like I ordered direct from them this week. I ordered Alfred from them again. So like I've got like 5 or 6 pre-orders directly from Prime One. And yes, that might be a risk, and that I'm just gonna have to take. But like Dan said, he wanted the bonus, and so I wanted the bonus too, or he's holding the cowl. And so it is what it is. But at the end of the day, again, I just feel like we have to continue to support the companies, but also the companies have to,
not take us for granted.
not take us for granted.
Yes.
Well, it kind of goes into like the whole conspiracy thing. Are they overcharging, like either on the shipping or, for example, this statue? They know it's going to be a popular piece. It's a popular, line and popular character. And Prime One has been, struggling a little bit with their edition sizes and selling things. I wonder if they're trying to make up some cost here and there.
Well, especially the DC stuff. I mean, again, they've been very forthcoming with me about the DC stuff is just not selling in the United States. That's why the edition sizes are so low, and those characters aren't as popular in the Asian markets. And so that's why you see a lot of more of the anime stuff being very, very popular, the video game things being very, very popular from Prime One. They've sold through the roof.
That's interesting because I work for a clothing company, and that's the exact same thing in the clothing company too. The DC stuff is not selling as well, so our overheads and our orders, we have to like cut back on DC stuff for now. And I wonder if that has anything to do with, I don't know, the movies.
Yeah.
Well, I think it definitely has something to do with the movies. The movies have kind of gone downhill. There's been exceptions. Obviously, I love the Batman. The Joker movie did very well for DC, but a lot of the other ones haven't. Obviously, Marvel is kind of like, they had this great, 10 years. And now, I still watch every single Marvel movie, but they haven't been as good, in my opinion.
Oh, no. I just think it's interesting that, like, the collector world is, like, mirrors, like, the same stuff that I see in my job day-to-day now, which is it's just interesting to me.
Do you think it's oversaturation also? Like, do you think it's so much?
Yeah. The one thing that's consistent, like, way consistent for us, Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars fans are like, they're steady people.
No, that's awesome. Well, that's just such a great franchise.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Star Wars is, in my opinion, Star Wars is a much more beloved, than a lot of the superhero stuff. Obviously it's, universally beloved. But it is interesting that even on your side of things that you're seeing.
Yeah, it's like I'm talking about jackets and sweaters and dresses, and it's the same. It's inspired by superheroes as well, but it's the same. So we see the same thing as like edition sizes as statues. It's crazy.
Do you want to take a second to promote that company?
Oh yeah, if you guys we mostly do women's clothing, so it's Elhofer Design. We do geeky women's wear.
Nice.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a lot of amazing ladies here in our chat this evening and on the channel.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
again,
Check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to thank 200 people watching right now. Please give the like button. That's awesome. Thank you guys very, very much. And so we are at the 1 hour point. I don't know if you need to head out now. Or
I do have to head out,
okay.
But thank you guys so much for having me. I'll see you guys next time. Okay?
Awesome. See you next time.
I'll be back
being
next
here
time.
and
Okay.
take care of
Thank
yourself.
you guys for
Bye,
watching. 200 people. That's amazing. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Susan.
Bye.
See
Thank
ya.
you, Susan.
Bye. Take care.
See ya.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today. And if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.